So Lexie Hull is back. Yes, she is back with the Indiana Fever. And that is one of the more important things. Well, not even just specifically Lexie Hull's back. The more players there are that are back for the Fever, the better it's going to be. Because the more time these players spend together, the better it is for everybody. And I mean that. The more time they're together, the better it is for every single player on that Indiana Fever team. From 1 through, I was going to say 1 through 12, 1 through 11, because they're not going to have 12 players. And the only players that have not come back, Aaliyah Boston was playing in Unrivaled, and in fairness, it's only been like 8 days since Unrivaled finished and she played in the finals. So, like, you should realistically be willing to give her a little bit of grace with that one. Give Aaliyah Boston a little bit of grace when it comes to Unrivaled, when it comes to like recovering from Unrivaled and returning from Unrivaled. Like, it's not like she wasn't working out. Taking a week off is no big deal. Lexie Hull is obviously back in the gym. She was obviously back in the gym yesterday. And again, the first thing is she's back immediately working out. Immediately working out with all these players. And obviously, immediately working out with Caitlin Clark. And Bree Turner actually was at this workout. Bree Turner has been back. And that's the now the thing when it comes to the Indiana Fever, is the players are mostly all accounted for. Like, we've seen Sophie Cunningham, she's been back. She's in Indiana, she's been working out. Bree Turner, Damaris Dantas in Turkey, Elaine is in Turkey. There is no way it says here experienced rookie. She has most definitely played in the WNBA before, I'm pretty sure. And Jalen Brown is playing in Russia. Sydney Colson is currently in Indiana, but she played in AU. Dewana Bonner, she's in Indiana, but the thing with Dewana Bonner is you don't last 15 years in the league by taking things for, or is it 17 years in the league? However long Dewana Bonner has been in the league. So he's, I think, the second oldest player in the league. You don't last that long without, like, if you underestimate off seasons. But it's a really good thing, a really, really good thing to see with the Fever players. Obviously, Lexie Hull is immediately in the gym working with Keith Porter. And, like, I think if you're Hull, if you're Bree Turner, there is competition for spaces now. And as much as Caitlin Clark and Lexie Hull have linked up extremely well, and honestly, coming into the season, it was actually a really good, or coming into the post-Olympic break, you could see Caitlin Clark and Lexie Hull, the connection that they had. Caitlin was always looking for her. Lexie Hull was always in the right position. You could see how much of a positive that was for the team. Obviously, Lexie Hull went through a lot of a shooting slump in Unrivaled, and you would never know. Maybe she would be able to figure it out again, playing for the Indiana Fever. But I mean, there's pressure on for Hull. To be honest, if Lexie Hull didn't heat up post-Olympic break, her WNBA career might have been over. And you also have to take into account that she's now got Sophie Cunningham there. So she's got to go out there and work hard to get her spot, because as of right now, I'd say her spot in the rotation is about 5 minutes a game. And then also, like, you're seeing her out there, you're seeing Bree Turner being there as well, looking for spots at that backup center position, or backup power forward, depending on the game, because she's, albeit a different type of player to Dantas, she's still fighting with Damaris Dantas. It's not quite like a like for like, as in with with Lexie Hull and Sophie Cunningham, even though they're not quite like for like, they play the same position and kind of play the same role. So I think at this point in time, Sophie Cunningham's better, but Lexie Hull's a better perimeter defender. And that's one of the things that I think is really good about this as well, is that as soon as the players can, they're immediately working out with the team. They're immediately working out with their teammates. And I think that's a real positive thing. I genuinely think that's a real positive thing. And that I also think that the fact that the star player of the team is at every single workout. So when Dewana Bonner shows up, immediately she's there to work out. But who's there? The star player of the team's there working out with her. Caitlin Clark is she's in New York to watch her boyfriend, the team that Conor McCaffrey's coaching, in Butler, playing the whatever tournament they were playing in. She's spotted at the NBPA. Is the NBPA? The Players Association. The NBA Players Association at their gym. I think it was was that the gym she was at? She was spotted there working out when she went to the Chiefs game with Taylor Swift. She was spotted that morning working out somewhere somewhere that she was able to get, and she was able to get to the game after that. And while I don't think Caitlin Clark is the most vocal leader in the world, I actually don't think she's a particularly great vocal leader, because I think it's hard to be that vocal leader with that mentality in 2025. With the mentality Caitlin Clark has, it's hard to be that vocal leader on a team, and get the whole team to follow as far as that. But you can lead by example as well. And I'm sorry, I don't think you can point to a person when it comes to on the court stuff for leading by example. Like every single workout that these players are doing, it seems like Caitlin Clark is there. And the only time she might not be there is if she has another commitment. And every time she has another commitment, she's spotted in a different gym working out. And that's one of the craziest things about Caitlin Clark. She just wants the ball. She just wants the ball. And this comment is still brilliant, though. Someone in the comments said they're convinced Caitlin's homeless and she lives in the gym. Like, I mean, that's what you'd want from a young basketball player. And it doesn't. And one of the good things is like, you're looking at, say, Caitlin's workouts, and I was going to say that, like, she's working out, she's doing what she's doing, and one of the worst things you can do is kind of go too hard too young. And it just seems like these workouts don't seem that intense. They just seem like just get back into it, get her shot up. More importantly, not letting herself get out of shape. Like, that is an extremely important thing, is to not let yourself get out of shape. That is honestly more important than getting in shape, is if you don't let yourself get out of shape, you don't really need to ever get back in shape. But yeah, so for the Indiana Fever fans, you should be excited, you should be happy. Lexie Hull's back. Caitlin Clark obviously is still at these workouts, and as well as that, look, it's a team that seems to be on the same page. You're seeing most of the team that aren't playing overseas are working out currently. Most of the team that are overseas are obviously working out overseas. They're playing ball overseas. And outside of Jaylen Brown, they've all had really good seasons overseas. So, yeah. And it's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree with this? Or do you guys think that it doesn't really matter and that all players should be working out with the teams anyway up to this point? Which I think is true, but I would say there's an awful lot of players that have taken more time than Lexie Hull has off after Unrivaled. But anyway, I'll see you guys.